As fans across America get ready for another season of college football, one team is already in full swing. This is the making of EA Sports NCAA Football 12. Previously on the making of NCAA Football 12.
Marketing made a decision to, this year, do a fan vote with the You Want Me campaign. So that was an opportunity for fans to decide who was on the cover for the first time ever.
Motion capture is just a massive part of NCAA. There's so many variations of tackles and blocks and catches and throws.
It's never easy, right? Because you want to get everything in and you're running out of time. We have to make some very hard choices at the end of the day.
This year, for the very first time, fans were given the chance to vote for the cover, choosing between Auburn's Nick Fairley, Alabama's Mark Ingram, Washington's Jake Locker, and Oklahoma's DeMarco Murray. And after 140,000 votes on Facebook, the winner was announced at ESPN headquarters in Bristol.
It is time. The moment we've all been waiting for. We've been teasing you all week. You voted, and the winner of the EA Sports NCAA Football 12 cover contest is Mark Ingram of Alabama. And guess who's in the house? All right, so you're on the cover. You've won the Heisman. You've won all kinds of awards. All right, we'll put the Heisman at #1. But where does this rank in, especially the fact that the fans voted you the cover boy?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely at the top of my list, just the fact that, the fans voted it. So, they wanted to see me on the cover. So, that's a tremendous honor. And I'm really excited about being on the cover and representing EA Sports on the cover of NCAA Football 12.
That's a cool cover. It's crazy.
Did you see your schedule?
No.
All day. So we have television interviews, radio interviews.
Mark Ingram is here at Alabama. You're the cover athlete for EA NCAA Football 12.
Mark's gonna be a busy guy. Every 20 minutes we got something new for him to do, but he's gonna be hitting all the shows from ESPN Radio to SportsCenter to NFL Live. You name it, he'll be doing it.
Now that wasn't an accident you ended up on the cover. You were using some Facebook, you were using, the Crimson Tide faithful to help you out there. How did that come about?
Crazy just to have the opportunity to be on a game. It's a dream come true.
The cover design defines the brand and relies on the presence of a top collegiate star. What may seem like a simple detail, the cover is crucial to branding and awareness. The one thing that everyone will see, and like the game, must exude the feel and excitement of college football.
So in creating identity or key art for our franchises or packaging, there's a number of steps that are involved with the production overall. One is selecting the athlete. The next step after the photo shoot is we have a selection process. What we'll do is we can't just pick our favorite images. What we have to do is pick images that will work in the formats that we need. And also the design of our packs, our logo and our titles are right in the center of the pack. So we like an image that sort of wraps around the identity of our game. So we take all those things into consideration so that when we put it on the pack, our fans and our consumers are saying, yeah, that's how I see that guy, and he looks like he's gonna run through the hole and knock you over. That's kind of what we look for in our images when we're selecting.
Me and Jeff got a lot of love for Road to Glory, definitely putting a lot of good stuff in there, and Jeff is both creative and he's the technical side, so if Jeff sees a problem, Jeff can go in there and get deep down into the code.
So you can wear colored gloves in college now, but in Road to Glory, when I set my player up, I can't choose the super bad, which is the colored version, and I want colored gloves when I play.
Dude, me too.
So I'll send that to you. Road to Glory, I was just looking at it, the calendar, Cash was playing it, he was just calling out the calendar. He's like, Dad, I'm so confused. You got to change this. He was totally lost the counter. I was like, good.
Yeah,
we did. So
we did. We worked well.
Yeah, so he was calling that out. He was getting really frustrated in practice because he's playing running back and he's getting like 6, 7, 8 yards, but he's not getting any points. So I think that with the new stuff, that'll be better.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm doing.
I'm gonna take him a build home tonight.
All right, well, I'll go work on this stuff, make sure the stuff's bugged, and if it's not, we'll bug it, and we'll get this thing rolling.
Cool, man.
For many on the team, creating a game is the all-immersive experience. The game becomes a major part of life, everywhere they go, often sharing the production process with family and friends.
So College Football USA 97, this here is the game that changed my life forever. It was EA Sports in the fall of 1996 running the Campus Cup tournament, and this was the game that they would be using. As soon as I found out about this, I had my buddy come up and I said, okay, 2-a-days are starting now. We played the game twice a day for 4 hours, and after winning the tournament, you know, this is how I got my foot in the door with EA Sports. So what's happening is every time you're breaking a tackle, you're losing 5 points, but you should be getting 5 points because breaking a tackle is good, right?
It's a bug.
It's a bug, it's reverse. I do bring work home. I bring it home with me every night, and it's hard for me to turn it off. The calendar's gone. This used to be the calendar.
Oh, that's...
You need to go practice. So how do you go practice?
Practice P.
Okay, so how do you do it?
What's that?
Is that easier than the calendar?
Yeah, that's a lot easier.
You know, on the other hand, you know, we get to have fun with my work. So if I do bring my work home and they don't have to know it, you know, he's just like, I just want to play the game and kind of watch him play the latest build and take notes and, you know, the types of things that he's picking up in the game. And it's work for me, but it's still fun for me and it's fun for him. And, you know, he's spending time with his dad and it's just a good bonding experience and getting a little work done and, you know, that never hurt anybody.
Coming up next, at EA Sports, there's a time to work hard and a time to play hard. But Alex might have bitten off more than he can chew. No product has a more passionate consumer base than video games. Millions of games played, players recruited, and touchdowns scored inevitably leads to feedback on how the game can be improved. And that passionate feedback has enabled the fan base at large to become a part of the production process.
I mean, looking back at some of the first titles I worked on, back in NCAA 05 was the first time we had online play. And so that was really kind of a new beginning there of being able to say, okay, now it's not just me and you playing in the same room, but I can play you across the country. And so that was a great addition to the game because it really got a lot of gamers into the game together and had this kind of communal experience.
First thing I say is we do read the forums. I mean, you'll hear that from everybody here. There's a lot of feedback out there. We want to hear what our community, our fans are saying, and we want to react to it and make sure we're delivering the features that they ultimately want.
What we look for in our key community members are guys that, know the game backwards and forwards. I mean, that's the key part because you're showing them things that are brand new and you can't just be kind of keeping them caught up with what we've done in the past to show them what's new. We want them to dive right into the new stuff. We want them to come in and give us crucial, honest feedback. As tough as they can be on the game, that's what we want because that's what our fans are. That's what our fans want, is to have the best game possible.
This year, we got the community in earlier than we ever have. They're getting to play the game, they're getting to see the features evolve, and most importantly, they're giving us real-time feedback that we're reacting to. We got a bigger group this time. I think we had 17 guys in all. They started in January. Last year, I think we had them in March is when they first came here.
Being able to harness the passion of these millions of fans who play the game every year, they want to help. There's just no way we couldn't do it without help.
Even seeing it now from back in January when we came in to give feedback for the game, the lighting, the grass even looks better.
Again, 7 years ago, that wasn't the case. There wasn't a blogger or multiple bloggers for every game. But these days, everybody's got an opinion, and as best we can, we try to address the feedback of the community and the things that we're hearing out there.
And another thing I see too, though, the running back's definitely showing a lot more assertiveness when it comes to stepping up in the pocket and trying to punch somebody. Whereas last time, they used to kind of stay by the quarterback.
Right. Just wait for the guy to come to him. Yeah. We were at the College Football Award Show recently, and Ryan Broyles from Oklahoma wanted a picture with me. Who am I? I'm nobody. This is Ryan Broyles we're talking about, and he wants a picture with me because he loves the game so much.
It's just gratifying to know I can look at things in the game and say, oh, you know what? I suggested that, and they put it in the game.
So, Felix, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the boards recently, but, they're going crazy out there right now. The community is demanding that we put in the ability to edit rosters inside a dynasty. It's something that, during pre-pro, we never heard about this thing, but now it's gotten to the point where it's out of control, and they really want to get this in there. I know, we're not going to get it in before we launch, but, I mean, is there any chance we can patch this thing?
Well, I mean, we're kind of past that point, right? Don't you think? I mean, we really just need to kind of wrap things up.
And when a patch comes out, it's really an update to the game. It may be new bug fixes, it may be things that unlock features that were already there on the disk sometimes, but it's basically an update to the game, kind of like you would get in regular software.
I think, before we make the call right here of yes or no, let's kind of do some background work to just see what it would take to get it in there.
All right, I'll look into it. I'll see what's involved, see what kind of changes we need, if it's UI or just code and whatnot. But I'm definitely not a fan.
We're flipping a switch. Come on, it's turning from off to on. It's got to be. It's got it, right?
I'll check it out.
But no, I appreciate you looking into it.
All
right, cool. I mean, I've had a lot of different roles on the team since I've been here, going from anything from a QA member testing out the game to working my way into kind of designing the game a little. It's more of kind of a producer role now. I'm kind of put myself as kind of the face of the game in the past couple of years, as far as going out there and talking to the community and really interacting with people and telling them what we're doing this year, because it's always an exciting time of the year to talk about what we're doing, what's new. So that's a lot of fun to do as part of my job.
It's been a challenging year, getting these games out the door. You're on such tight deadlines.
It's one thing to hit alpha, and that's as much of an internal deadline as anything. Beta is like, we've only got like a couple weeks before we have to ship this thing off, and if we slip, we have to start slipping our manufacturing schedules, or we have to start slipping other programs we've got in place. Beta is the time when you lock it all down. Only a few people can touch the code at that point.
We have predictions on how many bugs we're going to get in at the beginning of alpha, and kind of deciding or figuring out if we're going to be able to fix that many bugs, how many hours we're going to have to work.
When we're in alpha, fixing bugs is kind of our #1 goal, and every single change we make runs the risk of introducing more problems into the game. Yesterday, I was in a situation where the right fix was going to take several days to implement, but we figured, rather than do that, let's look at a shorter workaround fix. So while they were putting in the big, long solution, I spent the time putting in the quick solution and testing that out and checking that in and making sure that that really worked and didn't introduce any more problems.
Been here at Tiburon 9 years, and we've never missed a ship day.
With all the hours of hard work creating games, it's only a matter of time until the Tiburon campus experiences some of its own gamesmanship as well.
You have to finish every pickled sausage in there within 1 hour. And then you win all of the money.
What did I say?
Oh, this is so bad. These are soaked in vinegar.
Oh, I feel so bad right now. I feel so bad right now. So much vinegar in my system.
Next, a visit to Georgia Tech to show Coach Johnson his video game playbook. Ben and Anthony are a little nervous. Consumers want and demand authenticity in their sports simulations. So it is of the utmost importance to ensure that every scheme, every play, and every formation in the game matches what happens on Saturdays. It's an extensive process that requires almost endless amounts of research and knowledge.
I'm pretty much responsible for the design, implementation, testing of all of our offensive and defensive playbooks for NCAA football. Not only do we have to focus on like all of the top tier BCS schools, but we also make sure that, we're looking at teams from Conference USA, the MAC, the Sun Belt, all 120 teams. As you can imagine, that entails a lot of research. Not only do we just pay attention to plays and personnel groupings, but we try to make sure we get it as team-specific as possible. I'll watch a play literally 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row, just so I can draw out the routes and make sure that we get it exactly as we possibly can. We can actually take any play in the game and pretty much edit that play on the fly. So for example, we want to give this guy here about a 15-yard out route. So I would come over here, basically just start changing the assignment data for each player that I want to change. And there's our route in game. And then I just run the play and see what it looks like.
Coaches often joke that it's easy to draw up plays, but another thing to get the players to execute them. And the same can be said for the EA team.
You know, anything that happens on the field is what we're responsible for. So AI with respect to football is typically any kind of decisions that are made on the field, controlling somebody who is not user-controlled. Whenever a designer says, we want this certain type of behavior on the field, that's what we do, is we go in and we write the code or fix the code behind it. What we can do is we can keep running this play over and over again. I can go into code at this point and see exactly why this guy is doing what he's doing. And if that's not the desired behavior that we have or that we want, we can change it. That's kind of the tools that we use in order to track down stuff.
It's one thing to create a college football playbook, but it's an entirely different thing to get an approving nod from the coaches themselves. And this is just another step in the process that can be both an education as well as one of the most nerve-wracking experiences for someone that dedicates their life to college football authenticity.
So first off, Coach, I want to thank you very much for your time. I know you're very busy. Appreciate you carving out a little of your day so we can show you some of the new upgrades to NCAA Football 12.
Well, you're very welcome. We're excited to have you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have done with our program.
Well, great. So what we're going to do first is kind of take you through what our pregame introduction is for a game at Georgia Tech, showing off the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech and all the great tradition and atmosphere you have here at Bobby Dodd. It's not just about nailing the authenticity for the school, but also our broadcast as far as ESPN goes, and making it look and feel like a real ESPN broadcast. So here we see one of the new additions for us this year is the Rambling Wreck.
If you can run out behind that car without the juices flowing, you're probably not breathing.
Well, Coach, what we want to do is show you a few plays in the game, primarily to give you our spin on your particular style of offense. So Ben's going to run triple option strong here against one of the 3-4 sets.
Well, the quarterback would be reading the defensive tackle coming down, and that part of it looks realistic. We'd try to stay inside with that guy.
So, Coach, this time we have a fullback give read.
I like the way it's drawn up. You guys are straight veer blocking where you're doubling down on the shade, and tackle comes inside for the linebacker, which is similar to some ways we run, and hopefully the B-back has a crease to run through. We blocked down and created some angles for him.
With your offense, talk to us a little bit about the splits that you guys use, because this is another aspect of the triple option going forward that we would like to implement into our games.
You know, our offense is really quick hitting, and anytime you spread people out, you don't have to hold blocks as long. It's really more for the backside than it is for the play side. We feel like if we can just get some on the backside to have to pause and put their hands down, the ball's by them. A lot of our passing game is vertical. You know, if you're doing a good job blocking on the perimeter, you're going to get one-on-one coverage out there, and you know, a lot of times you're going to run right by folks when they think you're coming to block them, and you don't have as many people trying to get over the top or underneath. So if you're a pretty talented guy, it gives you a lot of opportunity out there and a lot of space.
When you're talking to a coach like this, he sees things in the real world scale.
To hear him say that, you know, some of the things that we do in the video game are actually lifelike to what they do in real life, oh, you can't get better than that.
He loved it. He really got what we were trying to do with the game. I mean, even though the terminology is a little bit different than what he runs, he still saw the same concepts, was calling out the blocking schemes and how he would do things, and kind of giving us some great pointers to use for the future. So, I mean, overall, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
When we return, we go behind the scenes of the NCAA Football 12 game intro shoot. The rivalry moment of the week is presented by Coke Zero. Many of college football's greatest moments come from games when rivals line up on the gridiron. Jake Locker looks back at a game he'll never forget.
Wazoo was our biggest rivalry, and I think that one always stood out for me. And we had just a couple of great games against them, but it had to be this last year when we beat them. You know, with threw a touchdown with a minute left to go ahead by 7 and ultimately win the game. So that's probably one that I'll remember the rest of my life.
When a gamer puts the brand new game disc into their console, before the first play is ever called, the game intro video is the fan's first experience. And those first impressions of NCAA Football 12 have to set the right tone for every experience ahead.
So tomorrow's a huge day for us. I got Gene Adams, our art director, with us. We're recording our intro video tomorrow. It was a huge success last year. Building on that, we got a much better script, much more epic music, everything like that. Now it's time to get the props. Gino, what are we looking for?
I think we need more helmets, pennants, and really anything else we can find, like cleats, team color gloves. Let's do it. Let's go get this stuff.
Now the fun part. Let's start raiding cubes. What a great haul. This is awesome.
This is going to be great for the shoot. I think we have everything.
Love it. Here we are on site, ready for the intro video shoot. I'm doing this on one of the local news stations, great sound stage, great setup for that. Got a couple of last minute props here, and I mean, the things I do for this job, how can I be seen carrying this around?
So what you're seeing here today is us setting up. You know, we're putting all of the things that we pulled from people's desks and we're putting them on the set. And we're trying to create great composition, you know, something that really resembles an ESPN broadcast. Ben, do you realize how much money you're wasting right now? Time's ticking, Ben. Come on, hurry it up, buddy.
Professional sign work at its best, fit for any game.
Nah, this is a total fail. I should have art directed this. The quality of our game really went up last cycle. We really wanted to push it to the next level. The first one, the timing was perfect, and then you went back out, and everything seemed to just be happening right at the right tempo. That works. This year we wanted to go really big. A lot of people thought we could just, you know, add, you know, body paint and cannons, and that would be enough, but we really wanted to wow the community out there.
Another season is upon us. Freshmen arrive wide-eyed with dreams of future glory, while seniors prepare for their last chance at immortality. These are the moments that reveal your toughness, your determination, and your pride.
Well, after talking with Ben, and we kind of looked at all the stuff that they were requesting, I kind of looked at some of the issues and saw what was involved to try and make some of those features happen to allow the users to modify their rosters in Online Dynasty. I had to look at all the risks that were involved, and after looking at that, the first thing I looked to identify to see if I could make all the changes in just code so they'd go to the patch a lot quicker. And so after, you know, the risk analysis and getting it in there and me playing with it, it looked like it was good to go. And for the first time, you know, in NCAA history, we put a feature into the patch, which is really cool. Let's check out the first ever feature put into NCAA football through a patch. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna create a new dynasty here. You see we've got 1, 2, 3, and then this right here, this lightning bolt was not there before. So now you can go in here and you can edit all their ratings. This feature, Dynasty Mode, is the most favorite feature for all the hardcore fans. You know, we really tried to embrace those guys, and you know, they're our hardcore fans, and we will make them happy, and we want to get their feedback in the game, because after all, they're the guys we're making the game for, so we want to make them happy.
Next on the Making of NCAA Football 12.
We're here at Draft Night Premiere. It's finally come. We've worked really hard to get to this point.
This year, what we wanted to try to do was go out to all these different size schools and record them. I think the fans are going to get a kick out of it.